Yeah, GNT back at it one more time. Episode 106. I'm sorry, personally. I just want to apologize to my people for being late today. This time it was on me. Had some family stuff to deal with, but we're good. Let's get into the show. Yeah. We are right back at it. 9 o'clock hour. Hey, this is the first time that we actually started this late in a long time. If y'all were here from the beginning, I believe we started our show at 9 o'clock. So it's just a little flashback to what we used to do, but it's okay. It's okay. Let's get into the show, though. Bird Gang, my man's with me. Say what's up to the peoples.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Just hey, let's just jump right into it. I know we running an hour late, but like Larry just mentioned, we definitely that definitely was our scheduled time when we first started.
Go figure, man. The show took a lot of travels and a lot of ups and downs in order for us to get to that 8:15 mark. That was like our sweet spot. But hey, we right back to our normal schedule from the beginning. But hey, Bird Gang, how you feeling, man? How was your day today?
I'm good, man. I had a good solid 4 or 5 days, to be honest with you, like just consecutive. A lot of good things going on. But besides my grandson gave me this little bracelet right here. So yeah, he got somebody to order all these bracelets, and then nobody knew what he wanted them for, and he gave one to each of my kids, his grandmom, like everybody. He was just giving everybody one. And then besides him giving me that, wrestling with him, he gave me like a little scratch on the nose, but it's all good. What up, Taya?
What's going on, Taya? Ms. Moore in the building, First Lady. Good to see you. I expect for you to be commenting a whole lot because we have a whole lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Now it's just me and Joel tonight. So right, Tone had to go ahead and work, but hey, look, man, make that money for the family, and we already know that we got you covered, bro. So go ahead and do your thing. Taya, good to see you. Yes.
She could have came on.
Yeah. That would have been an option. But you know what? If I would have gotten here on time,
right,
it might have been an option. But since I arrived late, we didn't plan anything on here on time. So it's all right. Look, I want to switch it up some, Joel, because I know like this whole entire week has been like geared towards all the anger and the happiness of you. So I want to have you actually drive the show today. So,
you want me to drive the show today? I mean, hey, we could start off by weekly surprises. I mean, I'm sure Thursday night started off as a huge surprise with us losing to the New York Giants. So, I mean, we could start off there.
Oh man, and that was a disgusting game, absolutely disgusting game. Can I say it again? A disgusting game. It made me so. I already knew that there was going to be a problem with the secondary. All right, we already knew that. But the one thing that we never had a problem with, at least with this defense, with this coordinator, is the defense playing soft. We never seen it before. Not like this. With Dory Jackson not even trying to tackle the man right there on the one. Not even trying. Can't even throw his shoulder in. Like to even try to stop the man. I mean, Ringo.
What, you not a fan?
I never wanted Darius Slay back so bad in my life.
Not yes and no. So like the one that we let go, man, we should have kept oh man, I'm drawing a blank now. The one that went to Minnesota that we'll see this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so That he's the one that I felt like we should have kept. Yeah, or Rogers. So we should have kept him. I was saying that even before we went into free agency and all that, if there was a way that they could keep him, that would have been my choice. Just because he's younger, and Darius Slay does Darius Slay things. But yeah, we could have used them too.
Yeah, man. Instagram family, we appreciate seeing y'all. Drunk Monk, I do see you. It's a Philly thing. I see you. What's up? Land of, I always say his name wrong. Land of. I was going to say Land of. Good to see. It's good.
Now you know who that is, right?
No, who's that?
I'll let him tell you.
I'm sure I'm going to know who this is now. But Land, to see you, man. And Drunk Monk, he said that basically that Giants game was an embarrassment, and it was. And also, he just commented that it was Rodgers that was the secondary player that the Eagles lost, and they didn't even lose; they just didn't re-sign them. And hoping that Ringo, that Ringo was going to be what he was destined to be.
Right, absolutely. I mean, the biggest thing was the announcement before the game with us not having Carter.
Yes.
That obviously presented a problem up front and not being able to get pressure or anything like that. And then in conjunction with that, when we lose Mitchell, then it was like, oh boy, like we in for a long night.
Yeah.
So like all in all, like, and look, shout out to the Giants and all that, and the Giants fan, true Giants fan that don't hide like somebody we know. But I'm not going to mention anybody's name, Manaki, but we'll leave that one alone. But like it was an exciting thing, but it already started bad for them, the week before with them losing neighbors and possibly showing some type of progression, which they are, being the New York Giants. But for me, if I was a New York Giants fan, I would be very concerned just because of the way Dart plays. He has no type of like he's not really, I don't want to say he's not thinking out there. He has a very, aggressive approach to the game and all that stuff. But I mean, he almost knocked himself out the game. So
like twice.
Would be a huge concern for me if I'm a Giants fan, because you're going to be sitting at the edge of your seat, just, looking at that and looking at his play, and he's just out there playing a little reckless. But nevertheless, he is balling. He's showing heart. He's showing, some effort out there, him, Scatterbo. And, these guys got, they were just ready. I think it was a combination of us not having our key guys. In addition to that, just, kind of getting smacked. And, oh, shit, they scored twice already. And then they were kind of playing catch up, being a little nervous, pressing the issue and stuff like that. But honestly, I'm not worried, about the Eagles. So I don't know how you feel about it, with the two consecutive losses after we started off 4-0. So what's your thoughts on that?
I'm not too concerned about, the team and this totality. I think they're going to get it together. I mean, if we was to look at the team last year the same exact way we do this year, I mean, it was just as frightful last year. Like, what is this team doing? I remember we started off 2-2. We're like, what is going on with this team? I don't get it. Blah, 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 blah. Why is the offense looking the way they are? I mean, golly, the offense looked way worse today than what they did last year. But, with that being said, it's a part of me believe that they're going to go ahead and get it together. They always patch things together. So I think they're going to get it together.
Right. I mean, before I go into that, I'll just, go on off the topic. Well, not off topic, but what team right now in the NFL is really dominating or really doing well? I know last week we talked about it. The one team that looked like they had everything going in the right direction ended up losing to KC this week. So that's my point in all this is that, I get it. Like there's a lot of concerns and a lot of things, but when you start factoring in that everybody that plays us is, taking a crack at, last year's champs, so you got that element. You still got the element of again, even though Patullo's new and all that, like he still got to implement himself and try to get things back on track. And we're dealing with injuries, just like every other team in the NFL right now. There's no team that you could say, "Yo, I really feel good about my team." Even Green Bay that started off great. Now everyone's like concerned. If you're a Green Bay fan, you're concerned. Same thing with the Chargers. Chargers just went, they squeaked out a win and stuff like that, but a lot of these teams like still are trying to are having injury issues all over the place. On top of that, you still got these teams that are, showing uncharacteristic, play. Teams that are known for defenses, having horrible defenses, teams that are known to being explosive are not, are struggling to get the ball to their top guys and playmakers. You look at, and you can look at that even from a fantasy standpoint to help you use that and implement that into the NFL and why these teams are struggling. Normal people that dominate during fantasy football seasons aren't dominating. And these are people that got taken in the first, second round. And they're having those issues right now, on a weekly basis in the NFL as far as like the games go and how they play out.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, it's usually around this time of year, this when there's like the beginning of the adversity. Now the adversity is kicking in, injuries, weird things happening, suspensions. Now players are starting to come back from suspensions. All those type of things usually happen right in the beginning of the year. But more importantly, at the beginning of the year, usually the defense is always on top, and then the offense always catches up. Every team, that's exactly usually what happens. So we just kind of waiting for, at least for this Eagles team, we're waiting for that switch to happen. All right, like offensively, are y'all going to hit that switch? And look, as Ty said right here, hey, AJ got the ball, yes. And Jalen had over 200 yards, yes, but we lost. So would have been better if AJ didn't get the ball. Jalen threw for 135 yards. Saquon ran the ball for 100 yards, and we won. I mean, it's
the math won't be mathing, but it sounds right.
Right, exactly. But I mean, and another key thing that she said, and I'm definitely going to ride with her with this one, said
right
that the Bills lost 2 games straight too. But here's the thing, right? I don't hear none of the beef from any of these correspondents, from any of these professionals about how Josh Allen lost 2 games straight. But I'm hearing all this stuff about Jalen and this Eagles team losing 2 games straight. Now, granted, one's a Super Bowl champion. The other one, they didn't even make it to the AFC Championship game last year. But they were still, there's still not the same smoke. It's definitely differences here. But yes, the Bills, which is one of the top teams in the AFC, definitely lost 2 games straight too. But I don't hear the sky falling over there either. So whatever.
Or flip side of that, all you hear is, "Oh my God, Dak Prescott, he's having such an MVP season," and they lost to Carolina. So it's like, bro, like, yeah, what are they? 2, 3, and 1? What's their record right now, bro? It's just like weird, but Dak's the MVP without Dak. Wait, what? It's the same reason like last year. Like, how the hell did Josh Allen win the MVP over Saquon Barkley? And then, like, is it a record thing? Is it a stat thing? Like, what is it? You know what I mean? Let's be clear on that, because but in the previous years, for some reason before last year, it was like whatever dominant player made a deep playoff run, and it was visual, like, as far as being an MVP. So now the most valuable player is Dak Prescott, all through, different platforms and stuff. They're talking about it. But now this week, since they lost, now it's Baker Mayfield. That's the name that, yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Baker. Everybody love Baker Mayfield. Oh, whatever. Yes, the Eagles schedule was tough. especially the beginning of it. No back-to-back games. It's a lot of stuff. Just like you're saying, Ty. I definitely agree. Brand new OC injuries, and more important, I want to say it's the injuries. Is 100% the injuries, because no way in the world this offense would look the way it does if we had a healthy offensive line, and clearly the offensive line is not healthy. Clearly, and the ones that's playing don't know how to play as well as the starters, which makes sense because they're backup players. But I mean, we're used to having, this crazy offensive line that's going to be able to really move the ball, and we're not getting that right now. Move the offensive line, move that defense so that it make it easier for Saquon to get into the second level. And that's not happening. But once again, we're still 4-2. so the sky isn't falling. The sky isn't falling, but it feels like it, but the sky isn't falling. Josh Allen was the league MVP. You're right. So it should have been a whole lot more. I'm telling you, it should be a whole lot more smoke on Josh Allen. Instead they just, they're not even saying anything. I didn't hear anything.
Nope. And the same thing goes for, I'm going to call y'all out right now, the Philadelphia fans, because everybody's so focused on Jalen Hurts, but nobody's talking about Bryce Harper. Nobody's talking about Kyle Schwarber. Nobody's talking about any Phillies talk right now. And it always seems to be the case where, the Eagles kind of like, and I get it, we're more of a football town, but you know what I'm saying? We just paid all these guys and all these guys that Harper wanted here specifically, and going out of the playoffs like that, how we did. And I don't even want to talk about, because Ryan Kirkering, Ryan Kirkering, he actually got, for that last play, not throwing the first, he was getting rocked. So
Absolutely.
what's your thoughts on that? Because I got a whole different point of view from that standpoint.
All right, so we're getting away from the Eagles talk right now then. And
yeah, we have to.
We got to? Okay,
yeah,
no problem.
We have to.
Okay. It's once again, I agree. Why is there no smoke to these top players when it comes to this Phillies team? Why is the bottom half of this lineup more successful than the top half of this lineup? Why your number one consistent player towards the half of the year on was a guy that we traded for that was supposed to just be a good defensive player, and Bader? Doesn't make sense. Trey Turner disappeared. It was his time to shine. He came back from injury, got himself back. It was his time. Nothing. Schwarber, hey, look, if Schwarber didn't have the one game, we probably would have lost. We probably would have been swept because no one else in that lineup would have done anything. Castellanos, I'm tired of the man. It's time for him to go. It's definitely time for him to go. I don't see a future with him on this squad. It's time for him to go. And I mean, a big part of me think that Harper is not healthy, but in the same token, where he's batting from, he did not have a bad season. Just the home runs wasn't there, but the home runs don't always have to be there. If his RBIs is high every year, he had a good RBI number this year. I forget what the number is, but whatever. He played well. He just wasn't the bopper that he was before. But other than that, you get rid of the whole lineup, man.
Listen, I'm talking about specifically the postseason. I know what this team can do during the regular season. Like we've seen it the last 4 years now. Like it's just like, look, like you're not going to continue to do this to me every single year. This was the first year. Last year was the last year where I was like, oh, I feel like we can really go deep in the playoffs and, actually, close the deal. And this year, like I didn't even let myself get to that point because I'm like, I don't know. Like I mean, we've been going through this every year. You know what I mean? It's like it's like you ever had that person, like that one person in the family that gave you like a Christmas gift and every year it was horrible. Every year. Every single year. Like you ain't want to seem ungrateful, but you're like, damn, like, all right, I know you're gonna give me a gift, but I know it's not gonna be good. So every year you wasn't even like expecting like anything good at all. So you like, damn, I'm not even looking forward to opening this gift. And now I'm gonna have to open this gift and act like it's really
It's nice.
it's really nice. So it's like, yo, bro, listen. I was like, look, I'm not falling for this. Like the first year, I was like, oh, maybe it was a down year or whatever. And then you open that gift and you're like, damn, all right. Next year, maybe it was a better year. Now you get another gift. Still, that's the same thing with these Phillies, man. It's like, yo, like when we get into that postseason, that same time of the year, you're like, I already know what I'm getting. Nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not expecting nothing great. Nope, I can't do it.
So
But
basically, the Phillies to you is like that gift of like long johns or like socks, right?
yo, you not gonna peg me, bro. Yo, you not gonna get me to dry snitch on myself, bro. I'm like, wait a minute, what did I give him last year? This was when I was a kid, by the way. Let me just clear that up. You know what I
Look,
mean?
I'm with you because
Right.
I had that family member, and I'm not going to go ahead and do that either and say
So what did they give you, Larry?
uh, I had one every year that gave me a set of long johns that was always too small. So it's like I can't even wear these. Not to mention that when I could wear them, I feel all itchy and stuff all day long that I'm wearing them. I'm like, what's the point of having these things every year? Every year,
They
long
give
john.
you a bodysuit. They
Yeah.
end up giving you a bodysuit.
Oh man, look. So I understand. I understand. It feels like that we get that the bad end of the stick or the bat in this case every single year, and I I promise you, if we was to rewind what we said last year about this Phillies team, there's nothing new.
Right.
There's nothing
We could have
new.
just aired that episode between 8 and 9 before we jumped on.
Nothing new. Everything's the
Right.
same. Nothing new. And it's a shame. It's a shame because it's like, what's the phrase? Crap or get off the pot. Like you're at the point now where you're making all this money. And
Right.
you have Swarber that's in for this new contract. Heaven knows if the Phillies are going to go ahead and pay him because guess what? He did have an MVP season.
Right. And he did have a great season. I mean, Topper's coming back. They bringing back the coach. My thing with this team is like, I don't think there's any like type of self accountability. And I don't
Mhm.
think these guys are so they just too cool with each other to call each other out. You know what I mean? They look at to me, this is just me from the outside looking in, is like I feel like they obviously they're gonna show up and try to compete, but if they don't, compete well, they're like, it's okay. It's just a job. Like, you know what I mean? Like that kind of approach because like, dude, every single year, like I don't see no type of anger or any type of like frustration. Like the only guy that showed any type of frustration was the guy that should have threw the first and threw over, threw it to the stands. Like, you know what I mean? And then everybody wanted to come down on that guy, and it's like, yo, like I get it. Initially I'm like, yo, what the hell you doing and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's like, first off, like it should have never been extra innings. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
You guys as collectively as a team put that man in that situation. And
Yeah.
then, you know what I mean? So it's like, he came in, he just ended up, having a costly error and cost him the series and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's like, yo, like there's a lot more people that should have showed up and it wouldn't have gotten to the point to where y'all put him in that situation and y'all relying on him out of all people to save the season. You know what I mean? So it's like, bro, like, no, let's have this accountability around these superstars that got handpicked by our superstar to be here, and every year they don't show up. So it's like, for me, I was kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, kind of like knowing what to expect. And I'm glad I put myself in that situation because, like, I'm an extremely diehard Phillies fan, but at the end of the day, I just like, like, I just can't keep looking at this. Like, I will continue to be a diehard Phillies fan, and it's just I just don't see, with them not making any drastic changes this year, I don't think anything's going to change because you got the same guys, same mentality. Like it's going. I think it's getting to the point that is in their heads, And when the playoffs come, they're like, "Oh shit! Now we got to do what? We got to hit. Yeah, the same shit you've been doing all year, bro. That's what we need you to do." But for whatever reason, when that time comes, they can't do it.
Now it's crazy because when you go back and you look at the whole entire season in this entirety, and it's like, if you look at like right before playoffs start, Schwarber, are you signing him back? If you was to talk to me like in the halfway point of the year, yeah, we need to sign him back. 3/4 of the year, yeah, we need to sign him back. Whole season, I don't know, because when it start to hit, the September, October, all of a sudden the bats ain't swinging the way he's supposed to, and now it's just like, I just don't know. So I asked you, Joel, if it was up to you to go ahead and re-sign Kyle Schwarber, knowing that if he's not in first place for this MVP, he's going to be at least in second. Are you signing him back?
If it's 3 years or less, yes. If it's more than that, no. But I really think we need to change. I would try to keep him, just to be clear. So I would try to keep Schwarber, but my whole outfield except Bader, and then I'm looking at second base as well. Stout is out. Marsh for me gone. Castellanos gone. Yeah. JT, like, I know a lot of people want him gone, but a lot of people don't understand. Like, I played baseball at a very, very small compared to what they do, and a lot of people discount what a catcher really does back there, especially a catcher that has a lot of knowledge of the players for all this time and knows how to pitch around these guys and certain things like that. So unfortunately, like, I know a lot of people want to get rid of JT. However, I don't think a lot of people know how costly, like, a position like that. You know what I mean? Like, you look at when we won the World Series, the critical role that Ruiz, that Chooch played. A lot of people, he wasn't a home run hitter. He wasn't, he was great behind the plate. He studied each batter of the opposite team, has the knowledge in his head, has, all right, this guy's up. Oh, okay, I know he can't hit it low and outside, so let's try to attack that. So those are the type of things that a lot of people fail to realize from that catcher position, where if you get rid of JT, you might get a little bit better consistency batting wise or something like that if there's a catcher out there that hits a little bit better. But from the baseball IQ and knowing how to pitch around certain hitters, like the top guys, and how to attack those guys, like, I think is a lot more valuable for us to keep him. But definitely those guys in the outfield and Stout, like, they need to change. And, I would keep Bohm only because I'm assuming if you're replacing the outfield and the second baseman, that you will get someone that has a little bit better hitting ability. So that would drop Bohm in the order down. And then you'll have a little bit more balanced lineup. And, like, Bohm basically becomes one of those guys. So I would keep Bader, so that would be my team right there. Like, the ones that I'm moving forward with.
Mm-hmm. I know you're kind of stuck to stay with Trey, because I think he has like another 3 more years on his contract. So so Trey's definitely coming back. Castellanos, I believe he was on his last year, or you can just go ahead and see if you can just try to trade him for, like a bag of nickels and and a bag of Doritos. But you can see you can try to go ahead and move him. Obviously, Bryce ain't going nowhere. Schwarber, yeah, I can see. I can hope that he signs for like 3 years. But a big part of me when I see Schwarber, unfortunately, right now, I see Schwarber, I see Embiid.
Not Embiid. He don't get hurt like that.
No, and it's not the aspect of being hurt, it's the aspect of
not showing up at all.
Like not showing up.
I got you.
And it's it's a sad thing, especially when you have a team that was on fire coming off. Like the Eagles just won. The Eagles just won the Super Bowl. The city is on fire for you. Can you imagine they would have made it past the Dodgers? How crazy these Philadelphia fans would have been?
Yeah, man. I mean, definitely like they experienced. That's the thing. They already experienced that. I just think they just so in their head, like with them losing the way they did in the last, 2-3 consecutive years. Like after, like no one expected it. They felt, like that presence of the fans being 100% behind them when we made it to the, and to the championship, and it was like, yo, like, bro, like, this city will be 100% behind you, but it's just the thing that like where these guys, I think they're just in their head.
Yeah, well, I know that's not in my head and on my mind right now is Phillies baseball for the rest of this daggone season since it's over.
Right.
So now it's just a matter of like who's going to go ahead and win it all. Probably going to be the Dodgers again. But let's see who's going to go ahead and win it all and see what happens next. So the good thing is we can go ahead and stop talking about these Phillies. I'm hoping you got it off your chest now, Joel, because that's been bothering you for a nice little minute. So hopefully you got that off your chest, so we don't have to worry about talking about the Phillies for right now. But in the midst of all that, I know you're the driver right now, but there's a video I wanted you to see. So it's not a long video. It's only like 10 seconds. But tell me if this is not one of the best catches you've ever seen.
Bryson! Oh my God!
Show it again for the people in the backpack. I think I will.
Bryson! Oh my God!
Did you read the passage on there?
Listen, that was crazy.
He's 14.
Yeah.
14.
Yeah, definitely on. He's gifted, man. Definitely, he they was playing flag football too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see, man.
Yo,
see what he can do, man.
See these monsters. You got these young boys coming out, man, like absolute monsters. But speaking of monsters, there's some monster rumors going on right now in the NFL. And I know that's something that you definitely want to go ahead and talk about. The one monster rumor, I'll go ahead and start it off. Because you're the one that told me this one. I was like, oh, I didn't hear that one.
Oh, the last one that I mentioned to you?
Yes.
Yeah, so apparently there's they're looking to get Derrick Henry in the Patriots. So, I don't know how much truth or what's going on with that, but you got the relationship with Vrabel there, and actually performing above expectations, where that same team is actually looking to get Jacoby Myers back and got their eyes on a couple of receivers that may become available. So, we'll see what happens, because I mean, they also been linked to AJ Brown because of the Titans connection, that they had. But, like I was just, doing some digging and looking at that. But I think that would happen if, I mean, the trade deadline is what, in November, the beginning of November. So they still got like 2 or 3 weeks. If Ravens go on on a 2-3 game losing streak or something like that, I could see them possibly moving on from that, but depending on what they're getting offered, like what was said was a second round pick and what's his name, Ramad, the running back that they currently have on the Patriots. Stevenson, Ramad Stevenson. Yep. So him and a second round pick for Derrick Henry. That's what I saw. But again, I don't know if it's 100%, just kind of kicking tires or whatever. But if I could possibly see them moving on from Henry. I mean, he's over 30. Like, he hasn't been running well. So let's see what happens. You know what I mean? But yeah. So in addition to that, you got possibly Olave from New Orleans or what is it, Shaheed from down there. That's been a lot of the guys from Miami, even Jalen Waddle, a couple guys, so hopefully last year the trade deadline was a little wild, so and a lot of players moving where they needed to go and stuff like that. But we're gonna see what happens. And then obviously, they got the Eagles linked to possibly, trying to grab some type of, edge rushing capability or something like that. So we'll see what happens.
Now, when it comes to the Eagles and the possibility of them trading for a pass rusher, I'd rather have them trade for a secondary player, a good secondary player, because I think they may already have their answer for edge rusher.
Right. Yeah. The talks is Nakobe Dean, obviously going back to the linebacker position, and then us taking Campbell and moving them to the line. But I mean, still with that whole secondary thing with, it's just a lot. It's just a lot of changes back there. And then when you don't have that defensive presence, and Carter from last week, like that just set everything in motion. Like if I could sit back there as a quarterback and not have to worry about Carter, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna make my game a lot easier and going through my progressions. So with that, and then you got the top cornerback that goes out. It's like, oh, okay, I can do this. You know what I mean? And it's like, and I don't want to discount any type of victory that the Giants was able to pull off, but it's like, all right, let's step back and look at how you did that. Okay, the top defensive playmaker is not on the field. Okay, then the top defensive coverage guy is not on the field. Okay, and then you already knew Adoree Jackson and Keely Ringo couldn't hang, and so you already knew that. And then you got all that stuff, and then you're like, okay, like I can't wait for you guys to come to the link, because the way they were celebrating and swagging out, and then even after, like the way they was talking, I was like, yo, like y'all real funny guys the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was their Super Bowl, without any doubts. And I'm saying, like, and the funny thing is like as I was watching the game, I was finding myself like, all right, I understand if I'm a Giants fan why I would like Dart. I like, I love his passion, love his reactions to things. I'm like, all right, I get it. I understand if I'm a Giants fan why I will be excited for that. And then all that happened. I'm like, you know what? Well, F you. I don't like that bull. Him, stupid running. God, I can't stand the Giants,
bro. It was crazy because look at what Ty said. And not only that, but like when Dart got hurt and he went into the tent, the coach left the field. He went following Dart. Like, let me go over to the tent to see what the hell is going on with Dart. And it's like, bro, like, I was like, yo, like, that was telling, like, how, like, and I get it. They're excited because they haven't been competitive at all. But it's like even the coach, like, yo, dude, you annoying as shit. Like, who the hell follows any player? Like, you just forgot about the rest of the team because you obviously got all the chips on the table that you need Dart out there to save your damn job. You followed the man into the tent. I was like, what the hell is going on? I'm like, this dude just literally threw the headset down. Where's Dart going? Like, it was crazy, and it's just, I don't know, bro. I was like, yo, this is crazy.
Never seen anything like it. Never seen anything like it. And you're right. Like screw the rest of. Was the game still playing? Yeah, it was. Yeah. But the coach didn't know what was going on. He was like, "What's going on? What's going on with him?" Well, like, yeah, that was wild. That was wild. As Ty said, like, yeah,
she put it on there too.
That was absolutely wild. He went to attend a check on Dark. I've never seen a coach do that.
Listen, next week, the first person that get hurt on the Giants, his ass better be at that tent. I'm gonna be like, bro, like you ain't come check on me.
Yep. But you know what? That's cool. I mean, they got that. They got that.
I like it for him. I like that for him.
Yeah. So I mean, look, it looked like the Giants actually picked themselves a good quarterback this time. So they pick someone with passion, someone that that's there. Hey, look, I mean, I think they picked the right choice. And yes, Russell is done.
Man, he ain't done. He going home to Sierra. He ain't never done. Like, what are we talking about here? He brought it up. Now you living in New York. You with Sierra. Like, come on, bro.
They pay millions. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now, another rumor: Eagles pass rusher. Now I said I'd rather go secondary, but all of a sudden, Mr. Hendrickson, that was injured, said there was something wrong with his back and something wrong with his hammy, a whole bunch of stuff, right? As soon as number 52 went ahead and flat out retired on the Eagles, all of a sudden, Hendrickson like, oh, it's not that bad. It's just I got a little tweak on my back. I'm good. I can play. I'm playing this week. I'm playing. All of a sudden, if there's smoke, bro. If there's smoke, I'm just saying, he's only signed for that one for just this year.
And that's the other thing. Why, like, we're 4-2. Obviously, we lost the 2 games. Like, all right, things aren't going well. Like, if everybody thinks Howie's just going to be sitting on his hands and not doing nothing, like, you guys are like, you guys don't know the damn team. You guys don't. I will be shocked if before the trade deadline we don't make any type of moves, whether it's pass rusher, some help on the outside, whatever it is. I mean, we even the defensive back that we can't seem to find out why we haven't picked him up, because he played on Vic Fangio's team before, like, and wanting to come here. Like, I don't even understand that. But, like, there's going to be a lot of moves that I think is going to happen all through the NFL. But definitely, I think you should at least pencil in the Eagles for 1 or 2 moves.
I agree. Taya asks here, why do we think that Za'Darius retired? And that's a good question. I don't know if it's a personal thing, because if you listen to what he said in the beginning of the year when the Eagles signed him, he was basically like, I know you're trying to hint like I was going to retire. And I wasn't going to retire. I still got a whole lot left in the tank. And then, boom, this happens. So is it, as Taya says here, do you think Za'Darius came to win a Super Bowl and said, nah, not this year, and rolled out? Do you think it's something else? Something personal? He didn't like how the team was going? I don't know.
I personally think something was going on behind the scenes, is my guess. Because there's no way when you have a position of need with, the pass rusher that like either force him to retire or he just goes away. Like, with what he said, if we're taking any, like weight on that, or it probably was an issue. I know there was like an issue right now with the whole AJ Brown thing, where they didn't technically call a meeting, because they were talking about like he called a meeting, and not he called a meeting, that the 3 key players had a meeting, and then that got out, and then they asked him after the game, hey, so what did you guys discuss about the meeting? And he's like, I don't know what you guys talking about. There never was a meeting. So obviously there's a player that leaked that out, you know what I mean? where somebody leaked that out. So you don't know, and I don't want to say it was Zadarius Smith or anything like that, but there's like a lot of little things that are happening, in that locker room right now. And the one that's being obviously verbal or not verbal about it, because he really ain't saying much. He just kind of like, being weird about things right now is AJ Brown. So there's something clearly going on there, and I don't know if it had anything to do with that, but he didn't really say much as to why.
Ty said that he said he was walking to the car and Saquon and Jalen started talking to him.
Right. So that's what I mean. Like who seen that and reported that, or said something like that. You know what I mean? So like, say I'm not saying it's Zadarius Smith that said anything, but if something like that happened, and then how adamant and pissed he was, they're like, yo, who talking to the media or saying something, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden somebody retires, and I'm not trying to like draw lines, a direct correlation to that, but it's something clearly going on there. There's a lot of little things, when it comes to that, which to me is like, all right, like I'm trying to understand why AJ Brown would want to go to a different team, because it's like, all right, it's not about the money.
Mm-hmm.
Can you win with this team? Obviously, you just won the Super Bowl, so it's not that you're not on a winning team. What's the issue? You know what I mean? Where I even kind of like went back and forth on the thing where I was like, yo, is he like maybe a little bit on the jealous side, where Saquon's on the Madden cover, Saquon's getting a lot of attention. Saquon just had a Netflix special. Jalen Hurts, signed to Jordan. They're opening a Jordan store down here, downtown. There's a lot of things, a lot of promotions going on with Saquon, Jalen. Before Saquon came here, it was the AJ Brown show. So like, one can't help to think like, besides stats and all that stuff that matters, like, it's like, yo, like, I don't know, does he feel like he deserves more spotlight? Something's going on there, because it's like, bro, like, I just don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you want to be here? And then there's a lot of things that, besides sitting on the sideline reading a book, like, it's like there's other ways that I feel like you can implement yourself and get to the quarterback or talk things over. Like, like you see Saquon do a lot of the times when things aren't going right, he's in the mix, talking to the old lineman, talking to Jalen, trying to correct things. It's like AJ just go chill, like he ain't talking to nobody, and he's just expecting, all right, just call the next play and I'm out there, but there's like, like no visible engagement during the game itself, where AJ's, going, talking to Hurts, or Hurts talking to him, and that works both ways, because Hurts has some opportunity there. The one that's probably the best example is probably Saquon, where you'll see him trying to route, get everybody's spirits up and stuff like that, and Smitty does it a little bit as well. But, like it's just those little things where I try to kind of like figure out, like, all right, where is all this coming from? Because I'm like, all right, you whiff, and then on the other side is like, from the personal side, like, the kid's godfather, like that's your godfather, like, you know what I mean, of your kid, with the whole thing with Hurts. So it's like, it's just a lot of weird things.
Yeah. And yeah, she says body language suck. And yeah, it's so far. And once again, it's still the beginning of the season. I mean, we're about to go into week 7. So I mean, we still have a whole lot of football left to watch, but it just feels weird. I don't think that this put together Eagle squad had to face this much adversity early in the season. Like, all right, no problem. Losing because we're not playing well is one thing, but losing because we lost a lot of players because of injury and what have you, the way that it happened, I don't think they had to deal with that as much last year or even the year before that as they did as they're doing this year. I mean, the last time that we, like, for example, didn't have all of our players was when we played Tampa Bay last year. And that's when we didn't have Smitty. We didn't have AJ. We didn't have Lane Johnson. I believe Mailata was hurt as well. No, if not in the game, during that game. So we had a whole entire hurt offense, and the defense was just reeling. You know, it was like they couldn't stop a cold at that time because they didn't understand, the defense and the way that was set up. And you saw how they got blown out in that game. So that's the only time, like, all right, they actually had to face something, and there you go. They just faced something. They just went through all this adversity. They had this long bye. Even though it's not a bye, but go from Thursday until this upcoming game now on Sunday, you have a lot of time. It's time for them to get it right. It's just time. It's time for them to get it right. And if you don't get it right now, I mean, the skin of your teeth right now, you're at the head of the division. Skin of your teeth.
Right, and that's the one good thing that happened as well. Like, I mean, obviously we lost, but Dallas loses to Carolina, then Washington loses, to Chicago. So we're still in the driver's seat. No need to panic. Obviously, we got some things that we need to address as a team. And hopefully they can get it together. I have confidence that they can because they've done it before. So that's what you want to go with. Just kind of like I was saying with the issue with the Phillies. Like every year, every October, what's happening. This is a team that's been to 2 Super Bowls in the last, 3 years. And it's like everybody's already writing them off and, and stuff like that. Where last year we had it, we were 4-2 at some point, you know what I mean? And we just got there a little bit differently this year where we ripped off 4 wins, at the beginning. So it's like, don't panic. Let's see what happens. You know what I mean? And, let's go from there, but, because even in the division, like, all right, we got to play them again, even though like what just happened to us with the New York Giants is like, all right, you don't think like we just lost the key players on defense, like, the probability of that happening for the second game, hopefully it doesn't, and we can get back on track. Yeah, she says bring CJ back. He been tweeting out some stuff on X, but
has he? I haven't seen any.
Oh, he been putting a couple things. Yeah, but like I said, I got confidence in this team that they can turn it around. They've been there, they've done that, and with the competition in the division, again, and then all across the NFL right now, there's no dominant team. You got. Now the Chiefs are back on track, doing things and stuff like that. So starting to see, to your point, Larry, earlier, where teams are starting to kick into gear and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. I'm confident, and we'll see where it goes.
Absolutely. And you're going to go ahead and answer that question. Would you want to see CJ back?
Yeah, at this point.
Yeah, we need somebody with some kind of attitude.
I will bring him back. I'm like, you really want to come back if I'm Howie? I'm like, hey, CJ, you know how this goes. Do you really want to come back? All right, we drawn up a perfect contract for you. It's a game by game contract. Nobody else wants you. So if you want to come back to Philly, we have the right to terminate this contract after every single game.
Yo, Ty said locker room can't get any worse.
Right. Yeah, I know, right? We'll see what happens, though.
Yeah, that's look, as far as we know, CJ only had beef with Slay. And since Slee's gone, we should be okay. But no, it's either you got to bring back somebody. And I like the idea of bringing him in because let's say Mitchell is hurt, for example, or let's just say that Mitchell comes back and he's good, right?
They all practiced today, so
good. So let's say Mitchell's back. Put Coop outside. CJ can actually play the slot. That's where he came from when he was over in New Orleans. Let him go ahead and play the slot. So you'll have Mitchell, Coop, CJ playing the slot with the rookie. I mean, Blankenship right there. I like how that sounds. I don't know if I like how it turns out, but I like how it sounds.
Yeah, not only that, but for whatever reason, he just has a knack for being around the ball too, because that's how he's just a playmaker on defense, whether it's a hit and scooping up a fumble or grabbing a pick or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Kevin Patullo. I can't. I gotta go, Kevin Patullo. Only because he, like, to Larry's point, we lost Becton, and then we all, we lost a lineman. So we one to free agency, and then now when we lose one, it's like we lost two from last year. So he just hasn't had, like, I want to say a full deck to play with. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like Brian Johnson was something else, though.
Yes, he was.
So we'll see.
Brian won 10 straight games, though, she says. Yeah. Wow. Was it him that won 10 straight games? Or was it just happened to be the Eagles won 10 straight games? He just happened to be the, ride along with the squad. Because I can't tell you how many times during that season, how many times Jalen actually looked pissed off. Like, Jalen don't look mad.
Yeah, they did not have a good relationship. That was glaring.
Yeah, like that was like in spite of them. Like they won in spite of him. So I'll take Kevin right now, and look, I'm ready to throw him away right now, to be honest with you.
Right, but it's an O-line issue for sure.
So
once the O-line get right, you'll be fine.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with that. Hey, look, we've been on here for 57 minutes and 40 seconds. We appreciate every single one of y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining us, especially Tyre, Drunk Monk, our normal people that's on here every single time. And look, we understand that we wasn't going to get our normal group of people to be on here because we started off so late. But if y'all guys made it this far into the show, we thank y'all guys so much for joining us. Definitely appreciate it. And look, we're not going to, thank you, Tyre. She said, great show. Appreciate you, Ma. Appreciate you. But look, it's getting to the late hour. We're not used to being on here this long, so we're going to get ready to shut this down.
That shows for me and Tone, GNT After Hours. I can't do that show with you, bro.
Yeah, wrong guest host right now for GNT After Hours. I'll have to join y'all a whole nother time when the sun is still out, maybe. But let's get ready to shut this thing down. Joel, it's time to break it down, bro. Let me go ahead and cue the music.
Hey, so look, thank you guys. I didn't send out the congratulations to my guy Jerron Boots Ennis, saving the weekend for Philadelphia sports and standing on business and getting the first round knockout. So salute to Jerron Boots Ennis. Thank you again for joining GNT Sportstalk. Bird Gang checking out.
Okay, we're going to try this again because I think my sound works well with the music behind it. I don't know what the heck happened there. What'd you laugh at, Ty? My face? I
just kept going. I said, I don't care about the music. I'm going in.
I'm like, what the heck going on?
The after hour effect. There you go.
Okay, we're good now, I think.
Yeah, we good. I already did my outro, bro. It's on you now. What do you got for the crew?
Okay, I have one thing to say besides our normal. Thank you always for showing up, for being there with us on episode 106. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, because without y'all guys doing those things, this channel cannot grow and reach more masses. so we can have better conversations. So please continue to go ahead and do that. And to answer a question that we got earlier, Taya, we're working on another Dimensions show, hopefully really soon. We'll hopefully have an answer for you, so therefore you'll have that answer in the background. This is not game one. Was not the last time you was going to see GNT Sportstalk at Dimensions on a live game. It's going down really soon, so look forward to seeing y'all guys there. Look at her, she sounds excited. Yes, and you know what? And that's why Joel, that's what it is, bro. They lost those 2 games because we wasn't there. We are 100% undefeated in that spot. So we don't show up, they don't win.
Yep.
It's on us, bro. So we got to make it up to them. So we're going to go ahead and make that happen. For real, for real. That's what I said earlier. I posted that and tagged y'all. So it's our fault. So Philadelphia, it's our fault. We apologize. We'll make it back at Dimensions real soon so we can keep this winning streak going.
Definitely the playoffs for sure. You already know.
That's not even a question, bro. That's not even a question. We're going to be there for the playoffs, but we're going to be there before that too. So look, to everyone, once again, we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all guys so much for tuning in. Until next time, your boys will be back next week, hopefully at 8 o'clock like we normally do. God bless every single one of y'all. Peace.